To begin by settling down. Imagine a glass bottle with sand, fine sand and water, shaken vigorously. And then left still to be able to allow the sand particles to settle down. So there's a sense of opening yourself to present moment sensations, and that could expand to include your ground of support. So a sense of settling down and calming up. Remind yourself there is nothing to achieve or to strive for, simply because you have in your possession all that you need. So it makes no sense to want or to strive for something you already have. The quest is to be present, conscious, or maybe mindful, and there's a place and a time for that, and it's here and now, in this moment. The current breath supports you. The ground beneath supports you. The beat of your heart supports you. You can expand and open into the sensations of support right now, where skin and bone meet the solid support of the ground. Release into that support in such a way that any holding, unnecessary tension can be released from the crown of your head downwards to the ground of support. When your structure supports itself in an integrated way, it's a shared effort. Your weight, your load is shared across the entire framework. It means that there's good tension and bad tension, and there's good release and there's bad release. Bad tension is simply holding, fixing. And where there is such holding and fixity, it prevents a freer flow. So there always is flow, but it might be stagnant. So good tension is always releasing through to another set of muscles that receive and then let go, and receive and then let go. So there's an interplay. That interplay is in the heartbeat. Lup, lup, dup, tension, release. Bad release is collapse. And collapse has exactly the same end result as bad tension. Restricted flow. So spend a moment just to allow your awareness to spread from the crown of your head down to the base of support. And when you're present for the possibility that there's always something that's got a little stuck. And when you release it, it can settle down. And from that, if you like, at the top end in your head, there's a sense of calm, ease, and stillness. When your body opens up in that integrated way, there's a sense of your backbone right now suspended between the sky and the earth, between the heaven and the earth, if you like. It opens. It opens to spread load. But you could also consider it like an aerial mast. It spreads load. It opens to spread your weight and loads across the entire framework of the body. So opening and allowing that dignity of length to move through your backbone could be thought of as allowing gravity to carry the weight of your head in a light and balanced way, conveying it ultimately to the centre of the earth. In a sense, here we are together in life, breathing, suspended between the sky and the earth. And opening releasing, expanding into the ground of being. Being here, being present is all important. The aerial master, the backbone, is open to receive. It's a fine energy or frequency. The efforts that you make with your attention do not draw upon a muscular energy, which is relatively coarse compared to the neuro energy. It could be thought of as a non-doing effort of attention that draws upon a refined energy. The thinking mind can help us with the process of opening and expanding into the ground of being. We need to let go of the distractions of the thinking mind and the natural self-centeredness that comes about because the ego, the small self, is a fabrication made up by the thinking mind and its labels and names and stories and ceaseless self-centered preoccupation. That comes with an ego. To let go of that gravitation-like pull of the thinking mind and the way that it creates a plethora of distractions, that can allow us together to be suspended between heaven and earth. In a wordless, thoughtless, label-less still presence. That is the shared and interconnected experience of the ground of our shared being. This means that there's nothing to grapple with, nothing to grasp, nothing to achieve. Simply to engage your attention in an open, expansive, immersive way. allowing it to become more and more inclusive as it settles into the field of awareness. An awareness of this shared moment of life and breath. A shared life and breath that is a given. It's a gift. How crude and rude it would be to snatch an offered gift. And so it is with the next upcoming in-breath. Allow your attention to play with the next in-breath in order to let go of any sense of grab or snatchiness. This process begins here and now, and then it begins again in the same way that the breath is ongoing. It's not endless. But it allows a process of becoming present and receptive, ever more open, to be present in this way for the breath. Allows it to be conscious. Things for which you are not present may be a subconscious or unconscious influence. They affect you, but they do so reactively. Whereas the attention here is to be present, conscious, and the object for your present awareness is the presence of each breath. Remember, the thinking mind will hamper, hinder, distract. It's important to be present and forbearing. And it helps to remember and affirm that every breath comes with a reboot option. With the right kind of training, guidance, mentoring, your conscious attention can be disciplined to become ever more inclusive, open, expansive. And it may become more receptive to the gift of the breath that we share. The breath that's given and that we share is a gift. It turns out that there's a myriad of ways to snatch at the gift. An infinite number of possible ways that thoughts and sensations can pull us away from moving deeper and deeper towards the ground of being. It creates agitation. And that shaking up of the fine sand in the water means that we lose clarity and we're pulled away from the presence. While there's an infinity of ways to interfere, there is only one receptive mode, receptive frequency. The deeper that you go into the ground of being, the more self-evident it is that there are no borders, no boundaries. That the ground of being is infinite. So that if there is any sense of limitation, then it has been imposed from the top down by the ego. The precise effort of attention is to let go of that grabby, capturing, conquering form of attention. Then the boundaries, the borders, that wall off the ego, the little sense, can evanesce and melt and disappear. This has to be in your experience. And will reveal itself as you embody and immerse yourself more and more toward the ground of being. There is a profound sense of depth, and from the depth and clarity, it becomes possible to see the surface activity of the thinking mind. Its tempestuous storms, its victories defeats its doldrums of ennui and boredom. They're simply there. On the surface, superficial. At this point, I am going to invite you to maintain and sustain this inclusive, welcoming quality of attention that's focused on the breath. Until at some point you feel ready to return to the surface and bring with you a deep sense of gratitude, nourishment and replenishment.